Solomon Grundy is a member of the ISA, the Injustice Society of America. All right, let that sink in for a minute. All right, we don't actually see his face until the last episode, but when you do actually see his face, it's some pretty good CGI that you get to see. And also the way like the new JSA, like the way that like Stargirl, Wildcat, Dr. Midnight, and Hourman, the way like, because they all have such different personalities. Like Stargirl is like, the leader. She brings light to the group. She keeps she's like the leading light. She keeps everybody together. Yolanda Wildcat is like the character that just wants to fight, and no, she's the one that is kind of like right underneath Stargirl. She's like the one that tries to help her. Dr. Midnight, Beth Chapel, is too talkative. She doesn't know how to fight, and she's more of like the info gatherer of the group. And she like I said, she doesn't really know how to fight. Meaning, when she enters a confrontation, she doesn't know what to do. She's more of like the information gatherer. And Hourman, Rick Tyler, my favorite character out of the whole group, and the only male in the group. Not saying that for any particular reason. I'm just saying he's my favorite character. He's my favorite character because he has a lot of growth in the show. You see him change as the show goes on, because he's trying to find his dead parents. All right. Well, he knows that his parents died. He's trying to find them. He knew that they were dead. He's stuck with a drunk uncle. All right, he's got a lot of angst. He's really angry all the time. He doesn't listen to orders when he's in costume. Like he doesn't listen to Stargirl. Like, as the show goes on, like, he doesn't listen. He just wants to go off on his own and do what he wants, which is perfectly understandable. When he finds out that Solomon Grundy was the one that killed his parents, he tries to find him every chance he gets, and he says he's going to kill him. All right. But as the show goes on, he starts to get less and less angry, because he realizes that he has friends that care about him, and he never really saw that before. And it's worth mentioning that the way you can tell he's changed throughout the whole series is he doesn't smile once throughout the whole series until the final episode. He doesn't smile once. All right, and in the final episode, he finally confronts Solomon Grundy. He finally confronts him face to face. He finally gets to fight him. All right, he does, and he wins. And he's about to kill Solomon Grundy by throwing a pipe over him and bashing his head in. He's about to win. He's about to kill him. But then he realizes that that Solomon Grundy doesn't really have a brain. In fact, when he realizes that he's been defeated by Hourman, he starts to cower. He starts to hold his hands up over his face, showing that he's scared. And in that moment, he shows mercy and lets him go, because he realizes that he finally made peace with what had actually happened. Now, that is like Avatar: The Last Airbender character development right there. Because all he needed to do was let all of his angst out, all of his anger on the one person that did it. But he never had to kill him, because all he had to do was just finally let out that anger that he's been holding for so long, for so many years. And then just move on. Just let it go. And it was incredible to see. I loved it. All right. Also, Meg DeLacy, the person that plays Shiv, Stargirl's arch nemesis, excellent performance. She plays the bitch. She plays the bitch in the story, and my God, like it like the good acting kind of bitch, like the good acting kind that proves that she's really good at her job. But no, like, I really like her in the show. Like, she is the bitch. Like, I hate her in the show. Like, in the good way, like, not like, oh, you suck at your job. No, I mean, like, character-wise, like, the character that she plays, I hate her. And she finally got, and, like, she was, like, imprisoned, like, half of the season, and then she finally got out at the end, and she escaped. And two things were set up. The ISA were completely defeated in the final season. However, there was one character from the ISA that was missing the whole series, and that was the Shade. The Shade is coming in season 2, and I'm really excited. They actually just cast those characters. And another person that's coming is Eclipso, and I'm actually really excited for Eclipso, because Eclipso is a prominent character. Like, to put this into perspective for you, when the Spectre, God's vengeance incarnate, had to replace himself, he made Eclipso. And Eclipso is more powerful than the Spectre. And the Spectre exists in every multiversal world and has the power to destroy the multiverse like that. That is, and Eclipso is essentially, if you took 3 Spectres, took away their humanity, molded them into one. That's essentially Eclipso for you. That is perspective for you right there. Powerful.
Extremely.
Yeah, and I guess that's it for DC shit. So let's talk about quickly like some Marvel stuff.
Right.
So there's really not a whole lot to talk about from Marvel except like movies that have been delayed, like Black Widow and Eternals and like all the other shows. Let's just say that when 2021 rolls around, we'll have plenty of Marvel movies to keep us entertained.
But
really. WandaVision is the only one that's coming out this year. WandaVision is apparently going to be the key to connecting the multiverse. It's going to be like the prequel to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of the Madness. It's the movie that's going to set the stage for the multiverse. And also, WandaVision is technically going to be like the MCU's version of House of M, where Scarlet Witch looks at her mental health and she finally loses her mind and she starts using her reality-altering powers to start manipulating reality the way that she wants, which is why we get like all these kinds of like these different kinds of TV versions. Like we get like the 50s kind of show sitcom, then we get like the 70s sitcom, and then it moves into like present day and stuff like that. That's kind of like why we see these different versions, because she's altering reality in each episode, and we're getting different versions of them in each episode. And I think that's really interesting. WandaVision. Also, Monica Rambeau was already seen in Captain Marvel, and she's going to make an appearance in the show, as well as Sword. Sword is a branch of... Sword is kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. They're a branch of S.H.I.E.L.D. that involves extraterrestrial forces. They are the first line of defense when it comes to extraterrestrial threats. A comic that you can definitely find Sword in is Secret Invasion. That's where Sword really is very big. They're gonna make an appearance. But can we talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier for a minute? Because that is probably
I'm excited
like
for that.
next to
I don't know, but
next
like
to,
I feel like I just want to say, I know like Falcon became Captain America in the comics, but I feel like it would make more sense if Bucky.
I don't know, man. Like that's kind of hard to decide. But let me just say, besides Blade, like next to Blade, the show, and Moon Knight, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm excited for two reasons. The first one is the fact that Baron Zemo is going to be a pretty big character. He's going to be like one of the main antagonists, and he's finally getting his purple mask.
Yes.
And Baron Zemo has always been one of my favorite Avengers villains, because I first heard of Baron Zemo from Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that show. Really good, by the way. He led the Masters of Evil, and he's a cunning strategist. His father was a Nazi scientist, and he made a thing called like Serum X, which like increased his strength. Like he's essentially on the same like brawling level as Captain America, and he's finally getting the purple mask that he really deserves. And I'm really excited for it. And in Civil War, he was trying to like take down the Avengers like by separating them. And that's kind of like how the whole Civil War event started. So I'm really happy, and I was really sad when Zemo didn't get his mask in Civil War. But it's fine. He's getting it now. That's all that matters. The second thing is that executive producers like Kevin Feige has already confirmed that we will actually be seeing characters that we have not seen in a while in the MCU, and these characters will include Abomination, Obadiah Stane, the real Mandarin is going to get mentioned at some point.
That's neat.
Yep, Justin Hammer is going to make an appearance, which we haven't seen since Iron Man 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's like the beginning of the MCGs.
Yeah, that was like really in the beginning of the MCU.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen these characters since like 2008 and 2011. And also the real Mandarin, not the fake ass one that we got in Iron Man 3. The real Mandarin is going to get a mention in the show. And I'm very excited, as well as like Alexander Pierce. Unless I've never seen Winter Soldier, so I don't know if he's already dead at this point.
Wait, you've never seen the Winter Soldier movie?
No, I haven't.
Why?
But it's on Disney Plus, and I plan to watch it because I'm watching all the movies in order again.
I thought you said we were gonna do
and there are some that all the movies in order.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna do that. Okay, well we can definitely do that. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know you wanted to do that. But no, I don't know if Alexander Pierce is already dead, but if not, he's probably going to make an appearance, as well as Arnim Zola is probably going to get a mention, because Baron Zemo has been known to work with Arnim Zola on quite a few occasions in the comics, as well as other TV shows. So I feel like those two working together would be pretty good. And yeah, I'm just really excited for how the show's going to go, just because these older characters that we haven't seen in a long time will finally be able to come back into the mainstream MCU universe through this show, and they can be played out later in the MCU as maybe be set up as another movie villain possibly later on. And one last thing I want to mention: Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, real quick. I'm excited for that. And then I also have two TV shows that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Moon Knight and Blade. But right now, I want to talk about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that Shang-Chi is finally coming into the MCU, because I feel like it really is a good thing. I feel like they definitely needed this, because Shang-Chi is such a good character, and I'm really glad that they're using this opportunity. This is actually a good medium to add in characters like Iron Fist and maybe the Hand, because Iron Fist and the Hand were in the Netflix Marvel series, but Disney has actually claimed the rights to those Netflix characters, so now they can use Luke Cage, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones, and the Punisher wherever they want now in the MCU. They can get the Punisher his own movie and maybe just recast him. Or maybe they could just recast, Jon Bernthal was in The Walking Dead, by the way, and I met him at Comic-Con at Wizard World. I have his autograph on my fridge. He played the Punisher in the Netflix series. He didn't do a bad job. It's just, I feel like the story was kind of jumbled, which is what made the series bad, which I feel like was a bit unfortunate, as well as the insignia looked a little goofy. I don't know, that's just me. But yeah, I feel like they could just recast Johnny Bernthal, give the movie a better writer and producer, and then that movie would be great. It'd be an R-rated Marvel movie. Also, real quick, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is considered a horror movie. It's going to be considered Marvel's first attempt at a horror movie.
Really?
Because it's called the Multiverse of Madness for a reason.
I'll watch it. I mean,
yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm watching that shit.
Even if I am deathly afraid of anything horror, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's Marvel.
It's fun. No, it's primarily going to be focused on the story, but I'm really glad that they're taking a stab at the horror. I think R or something like that. I don't know. But by the time it comes out, I'm going to be 18, so I'll be legally allowed to go in by myself and watch it.
Except.
So yeah. But anyway, Legend of the Ten Rings would be a great medium for characters like Daredevil, Iron Fist, and the Hand, and Elektra to come into play, because I feel like they could really do some good there. As well as, they've already said that a familiar character that we've already seen before is going to be shown again in Legend of the Ten Rings, and that character is actually Baron Mordo, whom we haven't seen since Doctor Strange. He's now at the end. At the end of Doctor Strange, he's a villain. He officially turned to the dark side and became a villain. Now he's going to be seen in Legend of the Ten Rings, and he's going to be trying to compete. By the way, Legend of the Ten Rings, I hope you know what this means. First off, in the comics, Mandarin has 10 rings.